Everett?
Yeah, Everett.
Everett.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Everett Douglas.
Yep.
Yatsuki?
Nah, Yasuke.
Yasuke.
I know. Just give you more difficult stuff to say.
All right. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie. If you are new to the YouTube channel, please hit the notification and the subscribe button because that's good for all things YouTube. If you listen to the show in podcast form, you can leave a positive review on whatever your podcast outlet is. And if you enjoy the show, you should share with your friends because that is how we get the Stagecoach across America. All right, welcome to this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie. Today we are coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia. We are at the NRA annual meetings, and I have Everett Douglas with me, who's got a nickname that I'm not going to pronounce.
Yasuke Fett.
Yasuke Fett. The first part, I'm like, is this? I don't know where this is from, but the Fett is obviously from Star Wars. Anyway. Yeah. Everett, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Charlie.
I am glad that we are finally able to make this happen. I think we met at SHOT Show real quick.
Yep, we did.
And and somebody's like, hey, you need to talk to this. This guy wants to talk to you. I'm like, what? Huh? What? And this is cool. So you live close to Atlanta, and we're able to make this happen.
Yeah, and I mean, close to Atlanta. Good God. I mean, Atlanta proper, whenever it's 30 minutes away. But, you apply the Atlanta adjustment, it's 50 minutes to an hour.
Right. Yeah, I experienced a little of that myself. 26 miles, hour and 10 minutes. I'm like, no way.
Yes,
this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
You get to see all the colors of the rainbow whenever you bring up the GPS. You start out green, turns that golden yellow, which gives you a little bit of hope, and then all of a sudden it turns angry red. It's lovely, but that's Atlanta. It's part of its charm.
It's exhausting, man. It is exhausting. All right, I hope you know how to get around because I do not. All they've been doing is like going down one road and then turn around and go back.
Perfectly fine with that because you don't want to find any back roads that you're not ready for or anything. So straight shots good for me.
Oh my goodness. All right, so tell us about yourself. How did you become a gun guy? How did you become a gun guy?
Well, I wish it was as inspirational as everybody else. I started as a kid, but mine actually deals with a divorce. Back in 2017, I ended up having to go through a divorce with my ex-wife at the time. We just had our daughter. She was 6 months old. Drama happened, and there was a couple of times where I'm like looking at the layout of my house. In front of my bedroom door is nothing but 3 glass windows. The actual front door itself, while it was pretty, it didn't really have any security to it. You could literally kick it in if you wanted to. So whoa. I started thinking smart about my current situation because it's almost like a he said, she said. Right. I don't know what she's telling people over there. I know what I got going over here. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to get caught off guard. So instead of acting out of fear, I decided to act out of intelligence, and I made my first purchase, which was a Mossberg Maverick 88.
Nice.
Yeah, the entry-level shotgun.
The from tactically frugal tactical shotgun.
Yeah, it's about 200 something, but
that's tactically frugal, man. Yeah, it's a Mossberg 500, but with plastic parts.
Basically, but it. And of course, being new, you're like, I gotta put a scope on it. I gotta get a light. Yeah, I made so many stupid mistakes back then, but that's why you got to do the research and study. But that's ultimately how I got involved in firearms. And then once you open up or go down that rabbit hole, if you will, you realize how many rights and how much stuff they're doing to try and take stuff away from you to the point where, like, whenever I found out putting a foregrip on a SBR would make it illegal, I was like, what the fuck? Really?
It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. I like to say that non-gun people make gun laws, right?
Yeah. Because
people have no idea what this stuff is. They're making laws and legislation.
They should know that the AR platform really is as heavy as 10 moving boxes. We're all Olympian level athletes whenever it comes to handling and manipulating these firearms.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's as heavy as 10 boxes.
Yeah. Moving boxes. Beer muscles.
Oh my God. All right, so you got a Mossberg 88, and where does it go? You learning that, you're putting all this stuff on it. It's, I don't want to say it's polishing a turd because Mossberg's not a sponsor, but you're putting your stuff on it that's probably not necessarily not practical or necessary, right?
Well, at the very least, it's like everybody wants to add a little bit of personality to their firearm.
Absolutely.
And, I went the Amazon route, unfortunately. So,
oh jeez,
little plastic heat shield on top, and I think I had a glow sight that was put on the front.
Oh my goodness!
Amazon Tactical.
Amazon Tactical, I love it.
You live and learn, man. I mean, I moved on to a lot more high end and better quality stuff since then. And
cool.
My very first handgun was actually about two. One was a Ruger EC9, I believe is the model, and the other one I bought was a Canick TP9 SF1 series. Now I remember when I first picked it up, I specifically made sure I'm here for the Canick TP9 SF1. And it was literally spelled out, O-N-E. So I'm like, yes, the 1 series. It's got to be extremely powerful. It's the only one of the one. And started learning that. That was literally my entry-level handgun. As much as I like Ruger, especially with the PC charger, I did not like that EC9 too much. No,
it was the one.
It was not the one. It was the two.
It was the two.
But no shade on Ruger. I mean, they do make some really great firearms. Like I said,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what happens then? So you got a couple handguns. So I know you're talking about becoming an instructor.
Yes.
What does somebody have to do to get a permit in Georgia? Because Georgia is permitless carry. And a couple years ago, they became guns everywhere, I believe. So how does this... what does somebody have to do to get a license or a carry permit or some sort of training? And then this is when states have gone to permitless carry. A lot of instructors, they think it's going to affect their business. And I live in a state where you have to have a license to purchase or possess anything. So you have to take some sort of a training course at the beginning to get a license. So you can buy a gun, you can buy ammunition. You don't have to do that here. So how does this... Where do you go from there? How do you, I don't want to say how do you learn more, but how do you?
Well, I think I'm trying to go down my own path because I do know that you have to take instructors courses and classes, so on and so forth, because you can but you can sign up to be USCCA certified, NRA certified. In the case of the Black Firearms Society, NAAGA certified, National African American Gun Association certified. I mean, there's so many different certifications and probably different, but maybe similar tests you can take. The reason it's taking me so long is because my divorce actually ended in 2020. And then COVID happened, and then a lot of other stuff happened that set me back. I really should have been focusing more of my energy on trying to complete the goals that I had set for myself.
Yeah.
But divorce is hell, and it takes a lot of focus off what you're trying to do. I hear you. And the other thing that really bothered me about that was the fact that courts don't really favor the man in the situation. And, like I said in the beginning, we had just had our daughter for 6 months. She had moved over with her family. I'm not seeing my daughter the way I'd like to. So it's just, you got a lot of potentially destructive things, ammunition, if you will, going on in your head. So you don't have that focus that you need to complete your goals. But when I decided that I wanted to become a firearm instructor while I was going through that, I don't want to become the instructor that can just put holes in paper and watch other people do it and say, yeah, you shot a hole in the paper. Good job. Got it. Here's your certificate. I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
Because if you can't walk it and talk it or line it up and shoot it, then why are you even doing it in the first place? So that was the other part of my journey. And we all know that practice takes money. Ammunition is not cheap. I tried to plant a freedom seed once. I actually put a 9mm in the ground. I'm still waiting on results, but if it does happen,
let me know.
Yeah,
let me know. Yeah,
hey guys, I found the hack.
Right, right. Found the ammo hack. Yeah, we call them freedom seeds, and shoot it in the ground, see what happens. I became a gun instructor to support my shooting habit. We had a big house. We tapped out with money. 2 young kids. And I was like, this gun stuff seems pretty cool. I'd like to get into it a little bit more. And I was like, man, if I become an instructor, then I can teach classes. I can go out and play guns for a day. When I go out and play guns for a day, you know, I get to shoot. I get to, whatever, get away from the wife and kids. I get to go shooting. I get to make a couple of bucks. Like, this is what I should do. So I had to do the whole, if I spend this much money to become a gun instructor, but if I have this many people, there's my break-even point. So that's kind of how I started becoming an instructor. I'm like, this works for me, you know?
Yeah, and I'd like to get to that point too, especially since I really like being out there on the range. Yeah. And I really love being out there on an outdoor range. It's just something about it. I recently had a class with a fellow NAAGA member of mine, Solomon Murray. He's part of Solo Tactics, and dude runs a thorough class. He's serious about what he's doing, and he had us out there. And I took this class recently, probably a couple of weeks ago. He had us out there standing and shooting, going prone and shooting, kneeling and shooting, shooting behind cover. I mean, it seems like it's basic stuff, but yeah, I loved it because it was getting me active again. Yeah, it's getting all that stupid depression crap off my back and getting my body active, especially since I just turned 40. You know, I'm 40. I've got a desk job. It's real easy to just work myself to a silent grave, if you will. But I don't want that, especially since I have a daughter. Right. You know, I need to be there for her, and also want to be able to protect her whenever she's under my care. And I need to be the one to teach her about firearm safety. Yeah. Because God forbid she learns from somebody else who's not as thorough. And oh, totally. Yeah. Totally. Yeah, this is one of those things for me. After I became a gun guy, my son had one of his friends come over and hang out, and legit they were like, so we know you're a gun guy. Is everything locked up? Is everything secure? Like, we're freaked out about this a little bit. Like, yeah, everything's unloaded, everything's locked in secure containers, except for the gun I have on me. And she's like, oh my God, you have a gun on you? I'm like, yeah, I just came from Walmart, of course. Yeah. Come on, don't be ridiculous. And then, 2 months later, she and her husband took a class, and then that Christmas she called me up and she's like, hey, I want to buy a gun for Marty for Christmas. Would you come shopping with me? Nice. Absolutely. Let's do it. So it's nice to convert people. Yeah, especially. Yeah. Yeah, because that's actually one of the main reasons why I started my podcast in the first place, Black Powder Podcast. Back in 2020, when all the turmoil and everything was going on, people weren't sure what was happening. They weren't sure about their safety. I call it the mostly peaceful riots, only a little fiery. Right? Yeah, I mean, it was crazy on both sides, but yeah. 80% of the first-time firearms owners ended up being Black women. And I'm thinking to myself, you're divorced. You got to meet some chicks. No, yeah. Hey, girl, I'm joking. I'm joking. Too. You like that 12 gauge? Yeah. Put up a chart. I got some pump action. Yeah. I'll be here all week. Don't forget to tip your bartenders and waitresses. But this is what happens when I get a little bit tired. Dude, it's filters gone. I get it. But my main concern was like, and granted, there are other firearm instructors out there, and I'm not an instructor by any means necessary, but I also know what it's like to start something out and not really know what you're getting into. Everybody had to start somewhere for any journey they've taken, right? Yeah, absolutely. I didn't want somebody to look up and make a purchase and say, well, it's just as good as Glock, or this light is just as good as anything else. Okay, cool. So you end up getting an Amazon special. It not only illuminates your hallway, but it potentially burns the enemy because it's overheating. Just trying to steer people into the right direction, if you will, and also just highlight topics and just anything that's going on with the 2A industry, firearm news, so on and so forth, especially from the Black point of view, because there's a deeply rooted history involving Black people in firearms and everything else. You know, we can go on that all day, but it seems like it's been kind of forgotten. And you still have, not everybody, but you still have a lot of people out there that may have an interest in firearms, but they're asking questions like, is this legal? Is it legal to shoot this .22? Can I carry this? How do I carry this? Even back then, I didn't even know what I had to do in order to get my my carrying permit. Now, granted, Georgia is a open carry state, you know, constitutional carry now. But back then, you still had to get a carrying permit, which allowed you to carry open and concealed. But nonetheless, I didn't know the first thing. So, as the saying goes, in order to do a thing, you got to do a thing.
Right.
So I started doing research, found out that I had to go to my town hall, do the prints, do the background stuff, so on and so forth. I got the paperwork done and got my carrying permit.
Cool.
And from there, it was just go to the range, practice with your firearms, and God, man. So the first time I shot that 88, I'm not gonna lie, I looked like an idiot because I didn't know how to shoulder the shotgun.
Oh yeah.
And I'm doing stupid stuff like, if I just tuck it under my arm, it should be okay, which it did shoot.
Right.
But it was not accurate. But still, you know, you got to know what you're working with.
You got to know. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You probably end up bruising your shoulder.
No, I mean.
No? Well, you didn't put it on your shoulder.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, I'm glad I didn't shoot the. I'm glad I didn't shoot the target. I mean, I shot the target, but I'm glad I didn't jack up the range, you know, because it would have been more than $20-something for that day. Yeah. Like, you owe me a new backdrop and everything else.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I worked with that. Also, I ended up buying a Ruger AR-556 chambered in .300 blackout. That was my first caliber.
Nice.
It was great until I had to replenish the ammo.
Ooh.
That's why every time I shoot a .300 blackout, I shoot it with my pinky out just a little bit. I want them to know what I am handling.
Right. But this is something else that new gun owners do need to think about, is the caliber that you're buying, because it's not just the recoil. Like I wanted to get my first ex-wife, as I affectionately call her, I wanted to get her a 40 cal Glock, right? And I'm like, we're gonna make the password on our security 40 cal gal. That's gonna be you. And my buddy was like, dude, so you plan on shooting it a lot? I'm like, well, maybe a little bit. And he's like, get a 9 instead. And I was completely lucky. We went to the gun store. We were looking at used Glocks, and they had a Glock 19, and I didn't know Glock 19 was the most popular handgun.
Yes.
It was certainly Glock. And ended up buying a Glock 19, and we just completely lucked into it. And I was like, ooh, I guess this one is okay, right? Okay. But you got to think about availability and price of ammo too. You know, so if you're preparing for the zombie apocalypse and you get some strange caliber, there's not going to be a lot of ammo. Yeah,
and on top of that, it's like I also learned that there's different variations of 9mm, because you might have 9mm Makarov, and just like you don't want to mix those.
Kurtz. Yeah,
you definitely don't want to mix those. And God, yeah,
it's a lot to learn.
It is, but it needs to be done, because ultimately my main focus is safety. Yeah, and I don't want to see anybody getting hurt, especially with like bad media out there, because YouTube has been riddled with just videos of people saying, yeah, I'm a Call of Duty operator, and you look up, and the one that really sticks out to me was this guy was clearing his house. He had set up a dummy in his garage, and he was going through clearing his house. And the way that he cleared the door, now granted, I don't have any prior military or Leo background, but even I'm like, dude, you're putting your whole body out there, and you're slowly sweeping the garage looking for the target.
Oh, jeez.
By then, they've already eaten a ham sandwich, and, you know, geez.
You guys are nuts down here, all this driving, man.
Dude, this is Atlanta. You need a defensive drive for yourself and other people. You should see the school buses. But yeah, he just exposed himself to the wooden dummy, which, to be honest with you, I don't know who was more of a dummy, him or the setup. But
right,
you know, it's bad. But the sad thing is, people will see that and then they'll try and copy it.
Right, because they think he's got X many subscribers, X many views. We think he knows what he's talking about because they know less. So yeah, that's a bad scene.
Yeah,
that is a bad scene.
And back then I think I'm not gonna lie, FPS Russia did some cool stuff.
Right,
but you got people that want to go shoot something that's full of tannerite, and I've seen a video where the guy actually ended up shooting, I think it was like a
refrigerator.
Yes.
And the door took him out?
Well, the door didn't take him out, but the shrapnel got him. He's lucky he has an eye still.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And even so, Kentucky Ballistics.
Oh,
right?
God, yeah.
Put a thumb in it.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, like he knows what he's doing, and he was shooting old ammunition, and that was not such a good call.
Yeah.
All right, so I have a policy on doing U-turns, and I have this outside of outside of the riding shotgun stuff. But if I can do a U-turn and make sure no one else has to hit their brakes, and I can do it in one turn, then it's a good U-turn. Anyway, so people still know what they're doing, still can end up getting injured. So anyway, you mentioned starting a podcast. Talk to us about this. So you're on the Black Powder podcast? Yeah,
my podcast is mainly focused towards Black society.
Right.
Hence Black Powder podcast. I kind of took the anatomy of a bullet. Now I know normally Black Powder involves muzzle loading.
Right, because I'm legit. I'm like, is it Black Powder podcast or is it Black Power podcast? Because he doesn't look like a muzzle loader, and I'm not trying to sound like a jerk and sound like some racist hog or something. But I'm like, do we have young black guys that are really getting into muzzle loaders?
Got to conceal it. Keep that thing on.
Oh man,
some of that 1776 action. They ain't ready for it.
I love it, man.
But how I came up with the Black Powder podcast is when I first started, my main goal was to target Black people.
Yeah.
In order to
don't say target Black people, man. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, my audience.
Right, your audience. That's your demo.
Bad. Yeah,
that's your demo.
My demographic. Right. Yeah.
Because if I would have said I'm trying to target Black people, that ain't gonna be good.
Charlie didn't say that.
I did not say that.
But I took the anatomy of a bullet, right, or a round, if you will. My fans, I consider, if I have any fans, if not, I'd like some, but nonetheless, my fans, I consider the ignition, not, kind of like powder inside of a bullet.
Right.
It's not black powder anymore. It's just like
smokeless powder.
Thank you, smokeless powder. Yeah. But I took a play off of that kind of muzzle loader thing.
Yeah.
My demographic being Black people, the powder needed to fire the actual bullet itself, and the bullet is the round. The round, or rather, the round is the message. So send a message out with the help of my demographic.
Cool.
And I used to have a saying. It's like the primers hit, the powder's lit. That was my first catchphrase.
Nice.
So when people tune in, that's all the powder gathered together, and they're there to push the message forward.
That's cool, man. That's cool. So how long have you been doing the podcast? So,
like I said, I was going through a divorce and everything. From 2017, I was getting more into guns and I started the podcast in 2020, September 11th, 2020, to be exact.
Wow.
Because it was a major. Ironically enough, most young people don't know about September 11th.
Oh my gosh.
But I put it on that date because I think that was one of the few times that America actually came together and there wasn't any issues. There wasn't any, hey, you're white, you stay over there. You're Black, you stay over there.
Right. We're all red-blooded Americans.
Right. And seeing a tragedy happen like that, it was a shocker. I started in 2020 because it was almost like it reminded me of September 11th a little bit, but just like the inverse of that.
Right.
Because there's all this tension and turmoil. People are making purchases out of fear instead of thinking about it.
Right.
And anytime you act out of fear, it never ends well because you don't fully go and train or do what's necessary. It's the Dunning-Kruger effect. You sit there I have a gun, I'm good. And then something happens, and just like knife work, if you have a knife, if you carry a knife, you should never think that there's never a chance of you getting cut or getting stabbed.
Right.
I mean, it's the nature of the beast. Just like if you have a gun and you carry a gun, there's always a chance of you getting shot. And if you don't train, that shot could come from your own firearm.
Sure.
Because you have 3 modes. Most people say fight or flight. There's also freeze. You're only as good as your training.
Yeah.
So if you don't train at all, I guarantee you're going to freeze up. And that's how you end up getting injured or worse.
Yeah. So, your podcast, is it, how do you record the show?
So I had to, I started out by just doing audio. And I was trying to find different platforms to do it on. Because ironically enough, before I even had the Black Powder podcast, I had a video game podcast called Warbound Radio. And Warbound Radio, I'm still trying to rebrand, well, not rebrand it, but bring it back, but more as a men's positivity podcast.
Oh, cool.
And I will say this, I am a men's right act. I do push men's rights, not because I'm trying to be chauvinistic or anything, but because when you go through that BS of divorce and you see how you get treated in court and you see how certain things, other people get away with, it really makes you think. And men have a high rate of high rate of suicide. I forgot. YouTube is crazy, but there's a high rate of suicide for men, and a lot of people don't really care for it. So that's the sad thing. That's why I advocate for men's rights. But what I learned from my video game podcast, I took that and I applied it to the Black Powder podcast. So now when I started, I would just do audio, and I would take the audio and go through an editing program and then put it on the RSS platform, which I still have today. So I've had that platform for a long time. As of recently, especially after going to SHOT Show this year, which is my very first firearm convention, trade show, whatever you'd like to call it. Shout out Tardigrade Industries and Chris McKenna for actually getting me a guest pass for that.
Nice.
Because, and then for the record, Chris is white. Okay? It's not that type of podcast. You're going to burn everything, pitchforks, hellfire. Yeah, it's not that type of podcast, Because granted, Black society is still, we're growing still in the 2A community. And we're catching up. But I'm trying to let people know that we're here. And we got a space here too, Right. It's not really asking for acceptance, but it's just like, hey, look, we're here.
We're here. We're here. We're Black. Get used to it.
I don't know if you're saying that, but yeah.
Hey, look, I love James Brown. I'm Black. I'm proud. I love James Brown.
But yeah, it's like this is we're here, and I know it's kind of childish to even have to mention the dude's color, man, because Chris is like, he's solid people. He's a great guy. But, and I always tell people this story. It's like, when I interviewed him about Tardigrade Industries, and he also has a club, scent line too. He's got his own fragrances. They're pretty cool. But when I interviewed him about both his companies, SHOT Show came up. And he's like, you going to SHOT Show? I said, I'd like to one day. He said, he had this sly smile. He's like, you want to go? I said, sure. And he upheld his word, because a long time ago, the guest passes, from what he told me, they used to be $50. The price shot up to $200. Yeah. He could have easily said, hey, look, kid, this ain't going to work.
Right. Yeah, I got good news and bad news. I can get you in. The bad good news is I can get you in. The bad news is it's going to cost you $200.
Yeah. I'll send you a pamphlet.
I will tell you this: you can sign up as media. That's the way to go.
Well, I know that now. Yeah. But,
it's all a learning experience, for sure, man.
True. Because again, it's like this is ever since SHOT Show, I've been trying to put out video format, and the spark has just ignited this drive to keep doing content and keep putting footage out there. And I'm taking the long way around, because it's real easy for somebody to post a gun on YouTube and you get like 10,000 followers. Oh, wow, he's got a high point chambered in 22. Yeah.
Right.
No shade. But no. But yeah, I could have easily went that route.
Yeah.
But I want the quality to be better than the quantity. Mm-hmm. Because if there's nothing behind why you chose this firearm or why you're shooting the firearm in the first place, then I'm just another, I hate the word, but I'm just another influencer.
Right.
I want to be more than that. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be famous, but like
trying to be rich. That's what we're all trying to be.
Get rich and die trying.
I'm coming close, man.
To being rich or dying?
Dying.
I just turned 40, man. You're not giving me any hope here. You just.
But I'm only 38. What are you talking about?
You're 38?
No, I'm not 38. I'm 55.
You look good for 38.
Yeah, I know, right? You look great. I've only been doing this a couple years.
Edit that part out. It's like that meme where they say you need what is the guy that's been working at the business for like a year, and he looks like he's 67.
Right.
And he's actually 32 or something.
Right. Yeah, being a teacher's not that hard. I've only been doing it for a year.
Yeah, which I mean, they do need a higher pay rate or something, because that's just ridiculous. And that, to sidebar into another topic, school shootings. My belief is this: school shootings could be prevented if more people would pay attention to the kids before they get to that point.
Oh, for sure.
Because let's think about it, man. Whenever we were growing up, you got bullied, you got your ass whooped. It stayed in school.
Right.
It might have went to another school or whatever. Okay, fine. We're dealing with situations where kids are getting bullied, they're being posted online, and it's not just staying locally. Right. It's going to the next town over, or it's going to the next state. It's going to the next continent. I mean, God forbid that kid grows up and he's been somewhat stable, then all of a sudden he ends up in, Aruba for a vacation with his family. And that video somehow is still floating around because the internet is undefeated and media never dies, right? Right. So people recognize him from the video. Oh, you're the kid. I mean, how do you live that down?
Yeah, that's nuts.
And the one thing that always bothers me is the fact that there's such a push and a movement to focus on mental health and everything, but it sounds great, but what are we actually doing to get that rolling, you know? Yeah. Because I mean, even companies are talking about mental health. I get that. That's great. You can go and get like 5 to 10 visits or whatever you need. Cool. Right. But is it really making a difference? Especially with kids, because we probably grew up in the era where it's like, rub dirt on it, you'll be all right. Right.
Put some dirt on it, have a cookie, and have some water, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we got to change the way that it's being done, because it's not the guns that's doing it. Because even if it wasn't guns, if the only weapon available was, I don't know, a rock and a sock, right? Right. Kids are going to use it. Absolutely. Because anger doesn't really care what is utilized to make it happen. Right.
Yeah, I mean, this is the whole, it's the person, not the tool. Mm-hmm. And, we can sit here and legislate, let's hold weapon bans, I get magazines, and do all that kind of crap. But if somebody wants to hurt someone else, they'll find a way to do it.
Yeah, and if anything, those bans are what's weakening the actual civilian population. Yeah. Because God forbid they take away everything, and all I've got is, the proverbial, like I said, rock and a sock. Mm-hmm. I'm going up against a guy or a set of guys or gals, because, everybody does crime. Right. Who may be rolling in here with actual assault rifles, where you hold the trigger down and it's spitting out the 30 rounds, or if it's a drum, it's spitting out 60. And that rock isn't going to protect me or my family. And that's why whenever all this stuff, whenever I started getting into the Second Amendment, I'm like, you've got to be shitting me. You're taking away a lot of the common person's rights to make other people feel like they're safe. Mm-hmm. But yet, whenever those other people don't feel like they're safe, they had to call the police and
have them bring their guns.
Well, I mean, let's be honest though, because if something's happening in your house, average response time is about 10 minutes, depending on where you live at, depending on
14 minutes usually, I think is what it is.
Right. those police aren't coming to protect you. They're coming to make a report.
I always say, even though the car says to serve and protect, it really means to clean up and write a report.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
And people don't really consider that, you know. You are your own first responder, and it's a responsibility that it may sound like it's something that you don't want to do, but you're going to have to learn to do it. Yeah. I had to learn to do it. And I'm not just talking about firearms. I mean, I need to renew my license now, but I've done first aid, CPR, adult AED. I took a class on that. I actually want to go take a AVERT class, which is dealing with active shooters, because honestly, I think if I can be blunt, you know, sorry, but you know, I try to keep it clean, but I think the active shooter program is bullshit because it tells you to either run away or hide or fight. Right, fight's the last option. Right, and if I'm in an office environment, what am I going to look like going after a guy who's got a shotgun or AR, AK, you know, the stereotypical bad guy weapons? No, let's make it different. What am I going to look like going after a guy who's got a high point rifle? Right? Yeah. With a stapler. Right. That's not practical. I mean, if it's a red stapler, it might have a damage bonus or something, you know. It might add fire damage. I don't know. Right. I'm not trying to find out. Oh my gosh. So it just, all the money that goes into the government, and we always hear a lot of stuff on media about, school shootings happen again, or this happened in the subway, or whatever. It's like, you would think that somehow that money would trickle down back into society and make things better. Right. But it does not. It doesn't. It does not. All right, listen, how can people find you? We got to wrap things up here. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got all like deep and philosophical. That's quite all right. How often do you put shows out? Right now, I've been putting out my videos every Monday. Every week? Every week, yeah. Matter of fact, that's a commitment. I just got done doing a 5-hour interview with Buy a Bullet, which is owned by Henry Pope. The dude is like a fount of knowledge. I called him the firearm Bob Ross. Nice. Because he's got so much experience on almost everything. I think it was a park ranger and a Smith & Wesson firearm instructor. Mm-hmm. I mean, 5 hours. So I'll be putting that. That's intense. Yeah. But yeah, every Monday, I'm trying to get my website out, which is blackpowderpodcast.com. Yeah. You can find me on Instagram at blackpowderpodcast.com. I'm on X as blackpowderpod, because somebody took the cast part. Yeah. Facebook is the same thing too. And you know, like I said, we're here. We have a space here too. But honestly, 2A is gonna have to come together, because the last thing we need to do is look up and we all just have a rock and a sock. I don't want to see that happen to anybody. I really don't. Especially since we have family, friends, loved ones that need protecting. Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, very cool. We're going to put some links below, and thank you so much for being on the show. It was an honor, man. Pleasure was mine. I'd like to do it again if you want. Yeah, we'll do something. Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. If you enjoyed the show, please share it with your friends. If you have not subscribed, please do. If you haven't joined the Second Amendment Foundation, there's going to be a link below. SAF.org is where you join there. $150 for a lifetime membership. And you can find all of your favorite pro-freedom podcasts at the Self-Defense Radio Network, or sdrn.us. And we shall see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.